Right, hey there everybody. Let's do a little practice on if formula first. Now in this particular worksheet, if you download it in your Excel, in your school computer, in your own computer, you can see there are some values here in cell A. So column A, column B, there are category A, category B, and these are the data. So there are like two distinct category and there are some values right here. Don't really much about these data because we're not going to do all this thing. We instead will need to use three different formulas and to understand how to use the if formulas for us in Excel. Now, if you've done Python programming before, you do Scratch programming before, if is a very simple thing. You learn that if is, if yes, then do this, if no, then do something else. It's pretty the same in Excel. But in Excel, you can start putting the if formula by putting or typing equals if and then open bracket. And then you will see that this has a logical test right over here. Now, the logical test will require you to select your criteria. So our criteria here is more than 10, but we need to select some value served before it goes more than 10. So I'm going to select cell B2, which is the value 5 right there. Whatever it is in cell B2, it will give me the value. So I'm just going to follow that criteria at the top. So if cell B2 is more than 10, and then I want it to display with the text high. But in Excel, we need to have, in Excel, we need to have a double speech mark right over there. And we're going to type in high. If it's not more than 10, we're going to put in a more comma right here. And then we're going to have a speech mark, and then we're going to type it in low. So right here, you can literally see that 5 is less than 10. So the message will be low. Now, what about all of these values in the bottom? It's really, really simple. All you have to do is just drag it below, and then you can double check how each of these values will determine the text right here. So 15 is more than 10, it's definitely high, 22 high, 8 is low, 13 high, 2 low, 11 high, 18 high. So that's pretty much it. It's using just on the if formula, you put in conditions and then the text that you want. If yes, if it's not, then it will display the other messages right over there. Now, what about SUMIF? Now, SUMIF is calculate depending on a certain criteria. And here at the top, we have SUMIF results only for the conditions high. We want to calculate how many highs right here at this particular value. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in SUMIF. All right. Always remember the Excel will need you to type the formula first. You select the range that you want here, which is all the way right here, all the range. Okay. We're going to select the range, which is all C2, C9. And then what we're going to do is we're going to type in the criteria, which is high. Sorry about that. Which is high. I'm going to put it in there. Okay. And then we're going to have the sum range. The sum range will be added all the values that we want here that is only has the criteria high. So anything that has high like 15, 22, 13, 11, 8, 18, it will sum the values for us. So with that condition, we have a total of 79 based on all the value that says high. For low, we can also do that as well. So I'm going to type in SUMIF right now. I'm going to put it in bracket range. Now this is the range that I want to. And then I have the criteria, which is low. Put in low right there. And then I'm going to sum the range values that are only low. And then we're going to see that this is only 15 for any values that is low in total. So that's pretty much it if you want to put that criteria there. Now, what about nested if example? All right, we're going to classify a few values. For example, we're going to classify values if any numbers that is more than 20. Another new category is very high, and we're going to categorize high if any value that's greater than 10, and then otherwise it will be low. So there are three categories that we want to do, and we can do that in the NestedIF example. So to do this very, very simple, all you have to do is to start your first condition first. Like we're going to first classify the very high value, which is the same value that one right here, okay? And then we're going to put in a new criteria, which is 20. And then, okay, sorry about that. And then after putting in the logical test or the condition that we want to. And if this is more than 20, we're going to have a text call very high. All right. Now, here is where the metric comes from. If instead of using another text which is false, we can actually put in another formula to ask this XF formula to check a condition again. So we're going to type in the if formula one more time. We have the open bracket, and then we have our same criteria again. And this time, this criteria, cell B, will have a value more than 10, which is the original one that we have. And then we're going to put in a condition as high, and then otherwise any value that's less than 10 we can just automatically put in as low for this one here. Okay, and then that's basically it. Just close that and you can see the magic happens. All right, now sometimes I've always forgotten to put the extra bracket, so the Excel will ask you whether you want to accept this correction. You just let it correct it with the extra bracket at the back. You can see the magic right here. This is definitely low because right here we have less than 10, and then we drag the formula right to at the end right there. You can see that values that is more than 20, it will automatically give us the very high value. All right, I hope this video helps, and good luck in your practice.